Hey guys, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. 30 books in 30 weeks. It is about that time. That helped. Okay, we got the lighting fixed. I can't talk. Okay, Dance of Anger. This week 26 out of 30. We're talking about anger issues, how to use your anger, how to identify anger, how to not be afraid of anger, how to acknowledge it, respect it, honor it. All those good things. So as you guys come in, feel free to invite some others into the conversation. Share the video out if you are joining me on LinkedIn or YouTube or one of my other social platforms. Welcome and thank you for taking that extra step. And if you are tuning in for the very first time, hey Melissa, and you don't really know who I am or what this is all about, Dance of Anger is part of our 30 books in 30 weeks series. We're in week 26 and it's a personal development journey that I decided about 8 months ago I wanted to share with you all, to share and raid my personal development library and share tips, tools, takeaways, ahas that have helped me along the way and that I continue to use these practices and principles in both my coaching business and my reality-based lifestyle. So I am Marcy Batiste, your ultimate power coach. I'm America's #1 reality-based success and recovery trainer, and I'm glad you're here. I always want people to know I'm sold out to my happiness. I live life on Mars, and I love to be the spark that ignites the light for somebody else to discover and embrace their star power. That's important to me because I feel that survival is a responsibility. That once we come through something, we have an obligation to go back and help somebody else. And so that's in large part why I do what I do. Certainly my domestic violence advocacy is as a result of that. But so today we're talking about the Dance of Anger, and I titled this live stream Anger as a Tool. I think a lot of times we just view anger as the emotion of anger, and we don't really view it as a tool. And I think that it helps us to come into terms and get in alignment with the feelings of anger when we realize that it truly is a self-awareness tool. It is a self-care tool. It is a self-love tool, and it should not be feared. Anger should always be respected. But how you use it as a tool is what I really want to go into tonight. So oftentimes we view anger as something that's just out of control. It's just some outrageous feeling. It's some uncontrolled emotions. It's people that are not in control of themselves, not in control of their behaviors. Oftentimes anger is an excuse for bad behavior. We try and use it as an excuse for bad behavior, but bad behavior is always bad behavior, and there's never an excuse for it, especially not anger. So when I say anger needs to be honored and it needs to be respected, you have to understand the power of the emotion of anger. But to use it as a tool, understanding that it really is nothing more than our internal judgment clock saying, time out, something's wrong. I don't like this. I don't like this feeling. I don't like how this person's treating me. I feel like I'm being used. I feel like I'm being underappreciated. I feel like I'm compromising too much. I feel like I'm doing too much. So a whole host of things that the anger wells up when we feel like we're being violated, right? When we feel like our rights are being taken from us, we get angry. When we feel like we're being hurt, oftentimes we feel anger. When we feel that people are taking advantage of us, it makes us angry. Sometimes when I did a series on women who love too much. So sometimes when we just do too much, even though it's our own choice, when people continue to put us in a position and we continue to say yes, when we're just giving too much of ourselves and not holding enough in our own reserves, we tend to feel angry. Somebody, I don't know, does something that you don't feel is appropriate. You feel like they're behaving badly. You feel like they're treating you poorly. That's all going to spark the emotion of anger. And when you realize that that really truly is just anger, is your intuition saying, pump your brake, speed racer. I need your attention. And what often happens is, particularly as women, we're taught to stuff that down, and so we don't pump our brakes. And we keep trying to plow through stuff that we have to and should put the brakes on. Might be a relationship, might be a job, it might be a community obligation, it might be a personal habit. There's a lot of things that can come into play, but when you understand that when you start to feel angry and you feel like there are physical things that happen in your body as anger comes upon you, your heart rate increases, you might start sweating. There are physical signs that you're getting angry. I know me, I get this lump in my throat, and I have this fight or flight type of response where when I feel like I'm backed in the corner, like I end up crying, but I'm really not hurt. I'm just extremely pissed off and I feel trapped. I know that about myself. So if I feel this in my throat, I know that I'm this close to anger, right? But I also know that my anger is a tool, and I have to be able to put my brakes, stop, and say, okay, where is this coming from? What is the source? Why do I feel this way? What do I feel like is being violated? And you have to take the time to ask yourself those questions. That's the only way that you can start to utilize your anger for what it was given to you for. You know, we're blessed with the human body that instinctively protects us, and it instinctively does things for us, and it serves our greater good, and it serves our best self and our higher self, and all those things that we strive to do, our body intuitively will do it for us. But we've been conditioned through society, influence, environment to ignore those signs. And so anger is really that core intuition that says, look, girl, look, son, hey, bruh, pump your brakes, something ain't right. We need to recalibrate this here thing. And whether it's a relationship, it's a situationship, whatever you want to call it, like I said, it could be a job, it could be money habits, it could be a lot of things that are going to come upon you. But ultimately, at the core of anger is violation of some sort. You feel like you are being violated. You feel like you're being disrespected. You feel like you're being taken advantage of. You're taken for granted. Pump your brakes. That's all anger means. Pump your brakes. It does not mean lash out. It does not mean snap out on anybody. It means pump your brakes. It might mean just shut up and stop talking. It might mean, you know what? I can't do you right now. And you have to be okay with that. And likewise, when someone else gets angry with you and they say, just give me a minute, give them a minute, because they're trying to pump their brakes. Respect that, honor that. And I know oftentimes we want to, especially as women, we want to plow through conversations. Like, I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it now. I'm going to make you talk about it. And you know, you got the sisters that want to block doorways and all kind of stuff. You got men that want to snatch somebody back and say, no, you're going to listen to me. You're going to talk to me. Respect other people's anger and respect their position when they try to pump the brakes, because it intuitively is telling them that something's not right. If something's not right in an interaction, in a relationship, in a situation, I would hope that the person who is in the circumstance with me, one of us would have the sense to pump our brakes and say, wait a minute, this doesn't feel right. Something's off here. And then you ask yourself those questions. Why am I feeling this way? What is off? What doesn't feel right? Why do I feel violated? Why do I feel like I'm compromising? Why do I feel like I'm being taken advantage of? Where is the anger coming from? And then once you discover where it comes from, you can start to fix it. You can work on it. You can work on those relationships. And I can guarantee you that there are some relationships, because those of you who follow me a lot or who work with me as my clients know I always say one thing: we teach people how to be in relation with us. And so if you have spent a lifetime teaching people that it's okay to argue with you, guess what? They're going to argue with you. So when you get mad about that, that's on you. You need to self-reflect. You need to pump your brakes and be like, why am I feeling this way? Feeling this way because you're yelling at me. Why are you yelling at me? You always yell at me. If your answer is you always yell at me, then that tells you you've co-signed that bad behavior for a really long time. Because had you nipped it, it would stop. People don't continue to violate boundaries if you uphold your boundaries, if you stand firm on where your positioning is on it. But if you're wishy-washy or you're not clear, you don't know what your boundaries are, you can't expect them to respect them. But at the core of it, again, your anger is a tool simply to tell you something ain't right. Pump your brakes, stop for a minute, breathe, get some space, get some clarity on what the hell's going on. Why do you feel that way? Where is this coming from? And then you move into how do you fix it? And that's how you really learn to use anger as a tool that we were so blessed with. It's a warning signal. It's a hot button for you to say, just slow down. I need to realign this. I want to advocate for myself differently because you're not hearing me. You're not feeling me. You're not understanding my position. So let me be clearer in how I communicate that. So I hope that helps you guys as you think about and as you experience the emotion of anger, to learn to honor it and respect it as a God-given tool to help us navigate relationships and situations better. So if you have any questions, feel free to inbox me. It's open 24/7. As always, thanks for living life on Mars and welcome to the Ultimate Power Team. I'm glad you're here, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow night. Have a good one.